A black woman worth billions, known for her quiet strength and resilience, found herself in a moment that would shake the city. Just sitting on a bench, minding her own business, she was targeted by an officer who let prejudice cloud his judgment. But what he didn't know, what no one could predict, was that this encounter would expose truths far bigger than himself. What happens when power is abused? What if someone stands up, not just for themselves, but for everyone who's ever been silenced? Subscribe to our channel and leave a comment with where you're watching from, because what unfolds next will leave you speechless. It was a calm afternoon in the heart of a bustling city, the kind of day where the sun seemed to linger just a little longer, casting soft golden light over brick streets and tall buildings. Amid the noise and movement, Mira Langston, a self-made billionaire known more for her humility than her wealth, had chosen a quiet corner to sit and reflect. Dressed simply, she looked like any other passerby, which was exactly how she liked it. Her journey to success hadn't been easy. From growing up in a neighborhood where dreams often went unnoticed, to becoming one of the most powerful voices in business, Mira had learned to carry herself with grace and quiet confidence. Moments like this, alone, still, were rare gifts. But peace didn't last long. Heavy footsteps echoed down the empty street, sharp against the pavement. Mira lifted her head, sensing something wrong. A chill ran through her as she saw Officer Trent, a man whose name carried weight in whispers across the city. Not for justice, but for cruelty. "You think you can just sit here?" His voice was cold, mocking. Mira stayed calm, though tension rose in her chest. She met his gaze without flinching. "I'm not doing anything wrong," she said quietly. "Just taking a moment," Trent sneered. "This isn't your kind of place." He looked her up and down, eyes full of contempt. "You don't belong here." Mira clenched her fists under her coat. She'd faced disrespect before, too many times to count, but never like this. Not in broad daylight. Not from someone sworn to protect. "You have no right to tell me where I can sit," she replied, her voice steady. Trent stepped closer, hand resting near his holster. "You think you're special?" Mira didn't move. Her heart pounded, but she refused to show fear. Then out of nowhere, a voice cut through the air. "Take your hands off her." Now, both turned to see Daniel Reyes, another officer. But unlike Trent, there was something different in his eyes. Resolve, empathy. Trent hesitated, anger flashing in his face. "This doesn't concern you." "It does now," Daniel said firmly. There was a long pause. The tension thickened. Mira felt a wave of relief wash over her. For the first time since the confrontation began, she wasn't alone. Trent released her arm, muttering something under his breath. He shot Mira a final glare before walking away. "Thank you," she whispered. Daniel nodded. "We need to make sure he's held accountable." Before Mira could respond, another patrol car pulled up. Two officers stepped out, faces unreadable. "We need you to come with us," one said. Daniel opened his mouth to protest, but Mira gently shook her head. She knew what this meant. She also knew she couldn't back down. "I'll be fine," she told him. As she got into the car, the cold metal seat beneath her reminded her of the reality she was stepping into. The city lights blurred past her window, once familiar, now foreign. Inside the station, fluorescent lights buzzed overhead. The smell of disinfectant filled the air. Mira sat alone in an interrogation room, hands trembling slightly despite her effort to stay composed. She thought back to her childhood. Nights spent studying by candlelight, days fighting to be seen, to be heard. Those memories gave her strength. The door opened. Trent walked in, smirking. "You think having someone stand up for you changes anything?" he asked, voice low. Mira looked up, meeting his gaze without fear. "No," she said, "but I know this is only the beginning." He frowned, then left, slamming the door behind him. Minutes later, Daniel returned with Sandra Blake, a sharp-eyed lawyer known for taking on difficult cases. "He has a history," Sandra said after hearing Mira's story, "and we're going to make sure this doesn't happen again." They filed a lawsuit. News spread fast. Headlines read, "Billionaire challenges system. Langston versus corrupt officer." Support poured in. So did criticism. Some questioned her motives. Others accused her of using the situation for attention. But Mira didn't waver. At a packed press conference, she stood at the podium, heart pounding, but voice unwavering. "I'm here today, not just for myself," she said, but for every person who's been treated unfairly and had no way to speak up. Reporters fired questions. One asked, "Are you doing this for justice or to protect your image?" Mira looked him straight in the eye. "I built everything I have through hard work. This isn't about fame. It's about standing up for what's right." Afterward, as she stepped outside, she saw a man waiting. "Miss Langston," he said, "I'm Officer Grant. I worked with Trent for years, and I've seen things." Mira exchanged glances with Daniel and Sandra. "I stayed silent for too long," Grant continued. "But seeing you stand up made me realize my silence was part of the problem." He offered to testify. Hope flickered. The courtroom buzzed with anticipation. Reporters, citizens, even those curious about the case, all gathered. Sandra stood before the jury. "This isn't just about one person," she said. "It's about a system that allows abuse to continue unchecked." Grant took the stand. He spoke clearly, recounting specific incidents, moments of unnecessary force, targeting the vulnerable. Trent's lawyers tried to discredit him. "Do you have a personal motive?" they asked. "No," Grant replied. "Only justice." Day one ended with Mira stepping outside, feeling stronger than she had in weeks. The second day brought even more intensity. Sandra addressed the jury one last time. "Today, we affirm that society won't tolerate abuse of power." Then came the verdict. Guilty. On all counts. Gasps, applause, emotional murmurs. Mira exhaled, a weight lifting from her chest. Outside, supporters cheered. Cameras flashed. A young reporter approached. "Miss Langston, do you have anything to say?" Mira smiled, eyes shining. "Today we proved that justice isn't a privilege. It's a right. This is just the beginning." Daniel pulled her aside. "You did it," she smiled. "We did." Sandra joined them, pride evident in her eyes. "We'll keep fighting." Mira looked at the crowd, proof that courage and determination could change the world. She stepped forward, sunlight warming her face. Justice was possible if you didn't give up. Never remain silent in the face of injustice. Stand up, not just for yourself, but for everyone who can't. Only together can we create a fairer, better world. If this story touched your heart, follow and subscribe to our channel so you won't miss more inspiring stories like this one. We're committed to bringing you tales of courage, hope, and justice every single day. Click subscribe and help spread the good.